Good afternoon, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. So I hope everybody's having a great Saturday as we're kicking off the weekend. I know this weekend we're fixing to have a huge cold front come in where I'm at, so I've been super busy just trying to get the videos up, trying to get my shorts up every night. Got a bunch of projects that I'm working on. Obviously, I am trying to prepare now for our big giveaway that we will be running pretty soon. I had a bunch of people donate. Well, a couple people had donated. A few people had donated some different stuff to add into that giveaway, so I'm super thankful to them. I'll be showing all them prizes pretty soon. Plus, I'm putting a bunch of stuff in there, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, I'm wrapping up the football NFL membership picks for everybody that did the football teams for the season, and get them prizes, well, first posted, and then that way everybody can verify them. So today I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to talk about, and obviously the hot topic right now is everything going on in the Middle East. And you know, I think some people, when I talk to friends, they think this is going to blow over, and you know, it's not going to escalate anymore. You know, they're taking the positive approach, and to a certain point, I mean, yeah, it's nice to take the positive approach. It's nice to think that all this will blow over, but the truth of the matter is, every so many years or so, I'd say around 80 years, you have major shifting events that kind of reestablish the power structure in the world. And for the longest time, the U.S. has been on top, and now it's being challenged. And I think it's being challenged in kind of a little bit of a different way. Everybody is proxying essentially other countries or other entities. That way they're not really the bad guy. Almost like people are, how do I say this? Kind of like letting stuff kind of escalate. And, you know, before, I mean, let's be honest, we've been sending a lot of aid to one particular country, and by supporting them, we've been weakening their enemy. And, you know, at first, you know, a lot of us are upset about that because all the money that we're pouring out when we're having so many problems, even here in the United States right now. But it looks like it's pretty well official now that we are heavy in this with everything that went on with the strikes last night and the night before. I think this is going to continue to escalate. And I said this would escalate from the get-go. I think that you're going to have a lot of blaming on why the prices are going up. They're looking for a scapegoat, and, you know, they're going to have it. They're going to blame it on everything going on. You know, it's not our fault that we have to spend all this money. It's everything going on in the world. And to a point, I mean, the damage was already done. Prices were going up. I mean, anybody that didn't see that prices were going up, I mean, they put out the jobs number, and then all of a sudden, we decided to kind of get involved more heavily and start the strategic strikes. And I think that a lot of people, you'll see in the news that, you know, this is to keep the prices down. I had someone tell me, one of my friends today, he's like, do you want to pay more for our stuff? I think it was inevitable that we're going to pay more for the stuff. I mean, when you look at the CPI numbers, the last 11 sets, I mean, well, I should say the last 12 sets now, because technically they haven't revised this one yet. But I'm sure this one will be no different. When you looked at the previous 12 CPI numbers, 11 of them had been revised. One of them stayed the same. And the most recent one, we don't know yet because it just came out. I would not be surprised to see it get revised to even worse. It was only funny because the CPI numbers were still really not great. I mean, they were worse than expected. We're seeing the prices already starting to climb, and you know, they're doing this in such a unique way too, that there's all these different ways they can raise the prices. They can raise the prices by shrinkflation, where they're putting, you know, a couple less ounces in each product, or they can end up raising the prices by hiding basically what's in there. Change the shape of the bag, the box, whatever. Less paper towels, a little less toilet paper. They could just raise the price, which they've been doing too. But to a certain point, if you raise the price too much, it draws too much attention. And then I actually seen a new one. I started reading up on this, a new one where they'll end up on some cereals. This was a meal replacement. It was called, I think it was Victor. I can't remember now off the top of my head. It was basically like a meal replacement, but it's like a cereal. It's put with the cereals. And essentially it has 12 grams of protein in it per serving. Well, you know, when you read it, that sounds great until you read the fine print and it says with milk. And then the milk is actually 7 grams of protein. So technically the cereal only has, or the meal replacement only has 5 grams of protein. And they can get away with this because in the fine print it says with milk. Even though the milk is not included in your first price, you have to buy the milk separately. I guess any meal you could say has more protein in it. I mean, this is just a slippery slope to deceptive practices. And I think, you know, they're looking for ways to hide the higher prices. And we're going to see higher and higher prices. And when I talk to people, I get this, I always like to start my conversation out with, you know, do you think food's going to be more expensive next year? And I usually get a typical response, including from a good friend of mine that I talked to today. He said, well, everything's going to go up. And I said, bingo, you're right. Everything is going to go up. Food's going up. Everything's going up. You said it. So why do you think silver's not going to go up? And all of a sudden, you've kind of caught them there. And then I feel like that kind of box them in to just admitting what I think everybody already knows, that silver is going to continue to climb in price. I mean, right after this strike started, I was getting pretty excited because some of y'all know I like to kind of start preparing my orders right around the 16th, 17th. I had plans to want to buy right around the 16th, 17th another order, put in another good order of the shiny stuff. And so I was hoping the price was going to go down. And when I seen the price dipping, I was pretty confident. And then when I woke up this morning, I said, oh, it took a jump. It jumped back up there. I mean, we had gold coming down. At one point, it was down 45, 50 bucks, which was pretty awesome. Silver was down $1. So that was pretty awesome. And then all of a sudden it recovered everything. It wasn't quite down $1, but it was down, you know, it was down pretty good. And I think it's just inevitable that we're going to see the prices on precious metals go up. Now, someone's going to leave me a comment on here that says something like, oh, silver ain't going to never go up because they're not going to allow it to go up because they need it for industrial purposes. And to a point, that's right, but I've said time and time again, it really doesn't matter what the cost of the items are. If they need it in the air, they're going to pay whatever it costs. And I think as you start seeing countries like China start, I'm going to call it prepping, hoarding, stacking, whatever you want to call it, they're getting ready. They know the direction that this is going to continue to escalate. That's why they've been dumping their treasury bonds. That's why they've been stockpiling up on wheat, and basically anything that they think they might need, they're buying as much as they can right now. Shipping is only going to get more expensive, especially now with different areas, parts of the world shipping kind of coming to a halt. You know, you've got soon you'll probably have the Straits of Gibraltar, but they're already having to send ships all the way down to Africa, Cape Horn, Africa, and then come all the way back up. And it's not just there, though. I mean, you can look in Panama. They've been having a lot of droughts in Panama, so the Panama Canal's not fully functional like it was at its, I'll say, at its peak, until they can get some more water flowing through there and essentially, you know, get some more ships moving through there a little more speedier. You know, so this is going to continue to escalate. And, you know, I was thinking as I was sitting here this evening, and I was like, you know, I sometimes wonder if everything that happened the first time wasn't planned. We saw what happened. I know a lot of people are going to be like, it was planned, but, you know, I mean, you got to really look at these conversations from both sides. So when friends tell me, no, it wasn't planned, or yes, it was planned. You have to get in their shoes. You need to get in their mindset and see how they're thinking about this stuff. Because, you know, when I say why it was planned, now they know, you know, if shipping slows down like it did during the whole they know what's going to happen. They know how this is going to slow down the economy, how it's going to raise prices up on everything we buy. And higher prices, essentially, you know, some people don't want to admit this, but higher prices is better for taxable income. Because literally they can tax, you know, if an item was $100 and they're going to get an 8% sales tax, getting kicked back to Uncle Sam, and all of a sudden that item goes up to $200. Well, now they're going to get a $16 tax kicked back to Uncle Sam. So higher prices helps them as long as people keep buying. The problem is people will start shifting their purchases and essentially buying more stuff that they need and less stuff that they don't need. And I'll be honest, some people will view silver as I don't need silver, because right now I've got to focus on other bills, other things. Now, that's why I always tell people, take a look, write down all of your stuff that you spend your money on. I got teased today by one friend about this because I looked at taking a movie theater job. And the person's like, what? And I said, you know, I look at where I spend my most money. My favorite thing to do is go to the movies. Even though they're the matinees, you know, you still spend money on that. And then you're not going to walk into a movie unless you just have incredible willpower. You go into the movie theater and not eat popcorn. That rich, buttery smell flowing through there. It's like they just pump it in everywhere. Everywhere you go, you smell it. And I always end up caving and buying it. And the price is going up. So I look at where all my money goes at the end of every month. And if it goes to silver, well, that's fine. I'm not going to cut that out. But I look, if I'm spending a lot of money in one area, then I look for ways to essentially get it cheaper, or maybe with apps, maybe with coupons, maybe with matinees versus evenings. You still get the enjoyment experience. There's just less people there, which is a good thing in my opinion. And so one of the things was the movie theater. I was like, man, that would be pretty cool. Go to work for the movie theater. And I had one of my friends teasing me about that. But you've got to look at where your money's going. Because here's the thing. As things continue to go up in price, including silver, including gold, and I'll be honest, cryptos will probably go up for the time period too. And yes, we could see a huge pullback. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say it's impossible. The argument is there. However, what's not there is a sustainability to a huge pullback, in my opinion. I mean, we could see a temporary pullback, but essentially the world's trying to go green. Technology's getting better, and, you know, that's where we're at. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Please, if you didn't hit that thumbs up, hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think about higher silver prices, and I'll see you guys again next time. Take care, everybody. Hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.